Hi guys, this is ZeyuChen, a digital media student, and this is for my digital media professional practice assignment 2, community engagement. So before we started, I would like to have a little self-introduction about me myself to you guys. I'm a game lover who have a deep interest in game industry, and I decided to keep that interest as a career direction in the future. And in this semester, I took an internship as a game effect designer in a game industry, and I developed skill for anime, 2D animation, game effect, movie effect, and skin and bone animation, mainly for live 2D and 3D animation. And I also developed skills about spine, a 2D fake 3D skin and bone animation software, and After Effects. And after I create all the effects for these two software, I put it into Unity 3D and Unreal 4, which are all game engines, and make it the final outcome to the games. So before we started, as you can see, all the background of my presentation is coming from a very famous game from Blizzard, which is the Hearthstone. And the person I choose as a case study today is called Ben Broyd, which is the original designer of the game Hearthstone. So before we start to introduce him, I would like to say that Hearthstone is one of my favorite game ever. So Ben Broyd is the exact person who turned my interest from simply playing the game to the digital artist which I became today. So here is a direct quote from Hearthstone Wiki. There is no way to contain the Broyd. So Ben Broyd is the former Blizzard employee and member of Team 5, which is called Hearthstone, who served as a game director of Hearthstone until his departure from the company on April 2018. So he is currently the chief creative officer at the game studio Second Dinner. So he is employed as a game director, which is the boss of the Hearthstone. So it might be confusing that what he does as a game director. So the name of game director is big. He can do everything. So that you can see that I took three screenshots of his work. He does all the job from game character designing, the festival designing, and the original development of the software. So from the left to the right, you can see that there's a screenshot of the character design and the Hearthstone trophy and a screenshot of the original prototype of Hearthstone the game. So I listed the most important thing of Ben Broyd's community engagement, which is the original prototype of sharing them. So not most of games don't share their original prototype because they think that embarrassing or something like that. But Ben Broyd like sharing them all the time, and Ben Broyd also encouraging our second creation, like memes and trick animations, something like that, and sharing brainstorm idea and designing details. So down below, I have some screenshot of him engaging with the community. So in this screenshot, you can see that Ben Broyd answering the player's question about what make you guys choose Jaina, Garish, Anduin, and others as the center of the portrait. So he's responding to them why they choose these particular character from World of Warcraft to the games, which is on May 22. He's already left Hearthstone, but he's still answering to them. That is very friendly. And here are some here is a screenshot where he's responding to the memes of himself, like as a game director of Hearthstone. He has no distance between the player and the game, so he's responding to the memes, and it makes the players likes him. And here's a screenshot of him sharing the original prototype of the game Hearthstone. This is not what it looks like on Hearthstone today. Actually, the player never sees Hearthstone in this way, but he's sharing them about how they designing the game from zero to nowadays. And this is him like sharing the designing details of the character. Like apparently some people didn't realize that Cole in the finishers has a fish pun in the name. So he's explaining about the ideas of the character and sharing his own deck of Hearthstone and putting the share code on Twitter so everyone can access it. So it's pretty nice. And this is about him like sharing his life with Hearthstone, like friendly engage with the fans and the second creation players and even his own child. So it has a clearly Bamboy's way of communicating with the community had the very benefits to my career. So what I can learn from his engagement is that I have to be online friendly. So the internet can be like unfriendly sometimes, but as a designer, my point is to share my works and get and taking ideas, so I have to be online friendly. So I also have to be loving to share. About if I don't share with the community, there are nothing to look. So I don't really call it a community engagement. So I also have to open to suggestions. So as a creator and a designer, some details seems to be very obvious to me myself, but not to the people on the internet. So because they don't spend like hundreds of hours on it, so they won't be. You have to tell them to make them to realize there are details buried under the characters. So I have to open to suggestions about what they like to or like for me to do about to the design. Yeah. So talking about my community engagement, so I put it into the online community engagement and offline community engagement. So I'm like Ben Broyd, I'm also sharing my original prototype directly from the spine so that everyone can clearly see how like each motions and effects are designed. And I'm sharing the brimstone idea and my design details, like what does this motion came from, or what I'm thinking when I'm doing this to the community, so they can understand what is this character coming from. So here are some screenshots of me like sharing my work on Facebooks. So mainly the ideas I'm getting from the community is encouraging and some question about the character design. So you can see that on the right, it tells me my spine character effect War Kitty. It looks like the child between the LL character Raven and Panson. So I like make benefits of from based on the suggestion, and here are some accomplishments like awesome design. I want to subscribe it at the moment I saw it. So I'm trying my best to engage with the community and take their suggestions, and share my details of work so they can, so I can cut down the distance between me and the audience. So for my offline community engagement, so I'm taking suggestions from my friends. So after they look at my work, they might give me some suggestions, and it may look very similar to some character from other games, and I'm sharing my brimstone idea and design details. So here are my some screenshot from my private social media and also the Facebook. So here the comment said that the work I have done for the spaceship is looked like the Xiaomei's ice gun in Overwatch. So the design and motion of it is too similar to the ice gun of Xiaomei of Overwatch, and also the comments of looks like the child between Raven and Panson. So after I heard the suggestion from them, I'm taking their suggestions and make it better. So here are down below there are some screenshots of my works after their suggestion. You can see that on the right, the grass of the appearing is small, and the shadow is not like is too sharp. It's not like coming together with the character. So on the right side is the work I have like promoted after I taking the suggestions. I make the grass a lot bigger, and I'm making the shadow smaller to come to like to mix with the character. And here are also some of my work of screenshots. You can see that. Yeah, so Bambroid, I really learned a lot from the way Bambroid community communicate with the community. So I like to sing. I like to sing. I will keep that way and keep the way I've engaged with the community and taking more suggestions and sharing the prototype I'm having and be online friendly. So here's my presentation for assignment 2.